there's still a price tag on it. Come on. Of course it's not gonna come off cleanly. Good enough. It is hot as balls outside, y'all. It's Alirien, and welcome to our Western Zodiac horoscope tarot readings for the season of Lughnasadh. Lughnasadh, or Lammas, celebrates essentially the first harvest. This is the beginning of the very, very long harvest season. The main harvest being Mabon, the autumn equinox, and the final harvest being Samhain. Today marks when fruit and some grain have come to reaping, so a lot of fruit and grain imagery gets used. And it also marks the transition between true summer and true autumn. We are halfway between the solstice and the equinox today. This is a bit of a transitional period, as all of the Sabbats are, from the very laid-back sort of mentality that summer often brings into the mentality that we need to have for autumn, whether that's preparing to go back to school if you are a student or a teacher, getting back to some serious work after taking a break, whatever that may entail. Because today is the 1st of August, we are in Leo season. We've been in Leo season since about halfway through July. We will be starting with Leo and ending off with Cancer today. And I'm going to be following the exact same format I do for all of these, where I will be reading 3 cards plus the bottom of the deck from a standard Waite-Smith style deck. And in this season, I am using the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sterle. And as our oracle component, because I always do a single pull from some form of oracle, the last couple tarot videos we've done, I've actually used runes for this. We're back in an oracle deck today, and I'll be using the Isis Oracle with all of the images and meanings inspired by the mythos of the Egyptian goddess Isis. Before we get started, I do want to say, please take what resonates. I forget to say it sometimes in my videos, but all of my readings, while they are intended for a certain sign during a certain season, so the Leo reading is intended for anyone with Leo in their birth chart for the time between Lughnasadh, the 1st of August, and Mabon, the 23rd-ish of September. However, if this video comes to you at a different time and you feel particularly drawn to a reading that, as far as you know, has no connection to you, say for instance Capricorn really resonates with you, but you've got absolutely no Capricorn anywhere in your birth chart, or at least you're not aware of it, the fact that it feels like it is speaking personally to your situation is more important than whether anything else lines up. So take what resonates and leave the rest. All of the readings will be marked with their time codes in the description, so you should have the chapters along the timeline down here. I do encourage you to watch the whole video though and see if one of the other readings maybe resonates a little more strongly at a different point. That said, a bit of housekeeping. I am getting very close to 50 followers on my Twitch channel. Very different subject from tarot normally, but I do have a Twitch channel that's up and coming. I'm sitting at about 31 followers right now, so we are more than halfway, and I would love to hit 50 followers by the end of the year. So if you're interested in gaming and would like to come hang out, I stream on Sundays and Wednesdays. Sundays at 3 o'clock, Wednesdays at 6. We've mostly been playing Lego Star Wars, but sometimes we shake it up with other stuff when we take a break. I encourage you to go check that out and give me a follow there. I'm also hoping to hit 150 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so I'd love to make that happen. And I'm trying to hit 50 Twitter followers as well, so if you want to follow me on Twitch or on Twitter, you can find both of those in the link tree in the description. Obviously, you're already here on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, I do encourage you to do so if you've been enjoying this content. And some other exciting news, if you did not see in my last video about me making the herb sachets, I am now selling the little herb pouches. I've developed several for various intentions, but those are now listed on my website. So if you hit the shop button in my link tree, that'll take you straight over to the shop on my website, and you can order those as well, along with the costume prints that are already in there. So yeah, go check that out. With all of that housekeeping out of the way, let's go ahead and shuffle our cards, and we'll start with Leo. I would like to apologize if I sound a little bit raspy and a little bit rattly in my throat and my voice today. I pushed myself a little harder than I intended at the gym yesterday, and my throat hasn't completely recovered from how winded I got at the end. I've been drinking tea and I'm about to go get some water to help me out during these readings because I will be talking a lot. But yeah, that is why my voice probably sounds a little bit off and a little bit low and a little bit tired today. I didn't want that to get in the way of me doing these readings, so I will power through. I've been in worse states before. I powered through an entire weekend of laryngitis while working a job as a receptionist at a salon. I will be okay. We may also have a cameo from a Roxie at some point. She's currently curled up in a laundry basket on the bed, like literally 2 feet from the camera. But if she decides to stir while I'm recording, she may come hang out. Hopefully, we'll see. Leo, for your Lughnasadh reading, your bottom card is the inverted moon, and your main 3 cards are the Magician, the inverted High Priestess, and the Knight of Swords. Your Isis Oracle card is Serpent of Fire. Your bottom card, being the inverted moon, says that right now your main theme during Lughnasadh is dealing with some sort of fear or confusion. And I think this mostly has to do with your perception of yourself and how that in turn is affecting your actions and your perceptions around everything going on in life around you. The Magician is a card of manifestation, creation, willpower. It also serves as a reminder you have all that you need to accomplish your goals within you already. Whatever goal you currently have in front of you, you have all that you need to reach it. There's no need to doubt yourself. There's no need to go out and buy other stuff, or obviously you can ask other people if you need a little bit of assistance, but you don't need to rely too heavily on other people or outside forces. You have everything you need within yourself to get it done. The inverted High Priestess, however, shows that you've lost some sense of your inner voice. Your intuition is incredibly blocked or has been left to the wayside. You're not listening to your own inner voice about making decisions and navigating things right now. And I think that is perhaps what's going on here, is maybe you're relying a little too heavily on other people's perceptions of you and other people's guidance to know what to do. You're not relying on yourself enough anymore. And so the Magician and inverted High Priestess both say that you need that. Not all is lost. The Knight of Swords, being upright, is drive and speed and ambition. You have, as the Magician points out, everything you need to accomplish your goal, including the drive to do it. I know that you do. You're just a little confused because you're relying so heavily on other people to keep you confident and keep telling you what to do that you're starting to get lost because other people don't always have the fullest perspective of what's going on the way that you, being in the moment and in the goal and in the pursuit of it, would have that best interest. So I think very plainly your reading here is just outright saying, while it is not wrong to seek advice and an outside perspective at times, other people cannot reach your goals for you because you are going to know what's best for you. The Serpent of Fire bolsters this by signifying that you are going through a bit of a transformational period right now. It's a great time for that. Specifically, you are being reinvigorated with a new perspective of yourself, new goals, new ambitions, and new energy to pursue those goals. The fires of summer as they start to fade into autumn, the fire of the sun itself, you are Leo. This fire is trying to renew you by burning away everything that you no longer need. Whether it's old goals and old pursuits, old behaviors, old thoughts about yourself or the world, whatever it may be. So in this, you are assured that you are stronger than you have ever been in the past. Thus, there's no need to be afraid or confused, and there's no reason not to listen to your inner voice. Look to yourself for all that you need, all the drive and the ability to reach your goal and charge forward. Virgo's reading for Lughnasadh has pulled the Knight of Swords as the bottom card, the Hanged One inverted, the inverted Queen of Wands, and Death inverted. Your Isis Oracle card is Spirit of Isis. Virgo, we've gotten ourselves into something we weren't prepared for. Knight of Swords is drive and ambition. It also comes with the warning that you need to be aware of the consequences of your words and your actions before you charge ahead. Whether or not those consequences stop you is entirely up to you, but you should at least be aware of the consequences, and more so, being that this is swords, this is your logic, this is your intellect, this is your words and your thoughts. I think, based on the rest of these, that perhaps we charged a little too headstrong into a situation that you now are having to face a consequence that you weren't prepared for. Inverted Hanged One points to either a needless sacrifice or a fear of sacrifice. Queen of Wands is selfishness or jealousy. Inverted Death is a fear and avoidance of change. You have ended up in a situation, in all of your ambition and your drive and your willful charging, something needs to change now, and you need to let go of something. And you, selfishly, are holding on to it. You don't want to let go, don't want to know what life is like without it, you don't want to have to go through this change. You are selfishly stunting yourself. Change is an inevitable part of life. We all have to go through it at various times, whether it's a comfortable change or a happy change or not. You cannot cling to everything forever. You can't even cling to life forever. Whatever it is you're letting go of, whether it's an old friend or a romantic relationship, a home, or something from your childhood, whatever it is, it could just be a goal that you've been set on for your life for so long that it feels like this intrinsic part of your identity. And now suddenly you're starting to realize that it's not what you want anymore, but you don't want to have to let go of that. And that can hurt a lot. But you're gonna be okay. Going through this change is a serious part of your growth. Hence, it is necessary. And if you never let this happen, you're gonna be stuck where you are for a very long time. Spirit of Isis reminds you that no matter what you have to go through, no matter what you have to let go of, you still should never give up. The goddess, the universe, wants you to have your triumph, and thus is trying to urge you that in order to have this triumph, to let go of that which is no longer necessary. Take a deep breath and let go. Believe in yourself and keep going. Libra, your bottom card for Lughnasadh is the King of Cups. Your main spread is the inverted Page of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Devil. Your oracle card is Temple of Lapis. The King of Cups represents compassion and balance, and I believe it is not only pointing out that you have the compassion and the emotional balance to deal with whatever lies ahead during this season. I think it is also reminding you to maintain these qualities as best as you can as you move forward, and maintain emotional control while you move forward. Which, Libra, you're the scales. You should know all about balance, right? The Page of Wands does indicate some lack of direction or some kind of negativity or a feeling of being stuck. I think perhaps you might have been in a situation where you had very little power to influence when and how it changed, and so it's led you to feeling really, really down on your luck where that is concerned. But the Hierophant does indicate that now is not the time to start thinking too far outside of the box. Tried and true methods and tradition, and particularly your moral and ethical code, are what you really need to stick to right now, especially because the Devil upright is a card of excess materialism or playfulness in some way. Try to maintain balance and discipline, which again, I think you're no stranger to. There's also an indication from the Hierophant, and I'm bringing this one up specifically. It doesn't come up all that often, but your oracle card is what's leaning me toward this. I think there's some sort of knowledge that you are either currently in pursuit of or that you are meant to come across as you move forward right now that will help you in future endeavors and future pursuits. The Temple of Lapis, as best as I can summarize it, reminds you that your soul is ancient and infinite, and you are guided to come into a fuller acceptance of your inner knowledge to help guide you through this season of Lughnasadh and everything that may come up during it and after it. All that to say, you are well poised to navigate all that comes to you moving forward from today. You are emotionally capable, you are mentally capable, and no matter how stuck you feel in your current situation, I have no doubt you will overcome this and find direction soon. Do not give in to the insecurity or fear that you will never find a way forward again. You are capable enough to deal with whatever comes to you in your life right now, including navigating this stuck period until you are no longer stuck. Scorpio, your bottom card for Lughnasadh is the inverted Six of Wands. You've also pulled the Eight of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the inverted Four of Pentacles. Your Isis oracle is Temple of Carnelian. My ring flew off my finger. So the inverted Six of Wands shows destroyed confidence and that you're feeling overwhelmed and perhaps even on the verge of giving up. Though things have been moving really fast for you, as indicated by the Eight of Wands, because it's rapid action and it's movement and it's quick decisions, I think you've come to a point where you have to make a really difficult decision. The Two of Swords is difficult decisions and a stalemate as a result of that. The inverted Four of Pentacles is a stinginess or greediness or possessiveness in some way. You are having to make a difficult decision and are hesitating probably because you're clinging on to something that you are going to have to give as payment in order to continue moving forward. And much like with Virgo's reading, I think you are being selfish and hesitant to let go of this thing because you're concerned about what lies beyond. You're concerned that the risk will not give you the reward you're hoping for and that it might not be worth it. The Temple of Carnelian says exactly the opposite. You need to trust in yourself and have courage, and you need to remember that there are going to be a lot of times in life where we need to take a risk and get out of our comfort zone and trudge forward in spite of that, because taking that risk is necessary in order to reach a version of ourselves and a version of our lives that makes us feel more complete to be and to live. I think the risk will be worth the reward on the other side and the goal that you are trying to reach right now. Be brave, have faith, make this decision, and start moving forward again. Sagittarius, your bottom card for Lughnasadh is the inverted Nine of Pentacles. For your main spread, you have the inverted Two of Pentacles, the inverted Ace of Wands, and the Sun. And your Isis oracle is Lady of the Stars. Sagittarius is in a rut right now. The inverted Nine of Pentacles being your main theme. It's setbacks and mistakes and an obsession with work. And it's the sort of situation where I think you've been staring so long at the problem and you're so dead set on just getting something done that you're making mistakes along the way that you wouldn't normally make because you're so fixated on getting this work done and doing this work, and whatever you think you're gonna get out of it, you're really just hurting yourself at this point. The Two of Pentacles is imbalance, disorganization. The inverted Two of Pentacles is imbalance, disorganization, and overwhelm. And the inverted Ace of Wands indicates you being fatigued, dispassionate, and bored. You are burned out. So whatever you've been focusing on lately, Sagittarius, take a break for your own sake and for the sake of the work you've been trying to do, because you just keep making mistakes and screwing it up and upsetting yourself and being in less of a state to get it done properly, forcing yourself to keep working, making more mistakes, and you're cycling. Take a break, walk away, go to the beach, feed some ducks, do something other than work. Take care of yourself and everything else in your life for a little bit. The Sun is a massive juxtaposition to this story. It's joy, success, celebration, and positivity. Find something to reignite your joy. Walk away, find your happiness again. Focus on all of the little things that keep you going, right? The Lady of the Stars indicates that something significant is happening for you right now that you need to be aware of. And it's possible that being so nose down into your work for the sake of getting it done and burning yourself out like this has been blinding you to everything else going on in your life. And that's part of why you need to take a step back and rebalance and start paying attention to everything going on, not just your work. Whatever has driven you to this mentality that you just need to get this work done, it's still important and you're still gonna get it done, but you don't need to obsess over it. Take some time to rejuvenate yourself and reignite your passion and your happiness. Then come back to it. Take your time. Capricorn, your bottom card for Lughnasadh is the Page of Wands. Your main spread is all inverted. The Fool, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Wands. Your Isis Oracle is the Scales of Balance. Capricorn's is reading a little similarly to Sagittarius in that there's a serious need for balance and a bit of a reset, but for different reasons. The Page of Wands is excitement, exploration, and freedom, which is a very, very good thing. There's some sort of new and creative endeavor that you're about to embark on, Capricorn. However, these three indicate that we may have leapt before we looked. Inverted Fool is a recklessness and perhaps a being taken advantage of. Knight of Wands is also a recklessness. I think not all of the consequences and ramifications of our thoughts, our actions, our words were considered before we started forward down this path. The Hierophant indicates rebellion, subversiveness, or a new approach. I think you're realizing that you may have ended up in a situation that you weren't entirely prepared for, which is okay. It happens. There's still a way out of this. You're kind of questioning whether or not you made the right decision and if maybe you didn't screw yourself over with the path you've gone down. You are encouraged to follow the road less taken in this scenario. It seems that more so than anything else, there's just been an overabundance of eagerness, and that has perhaps gotten you into a situation that you weren't fully prepared for. Now is the time to stop, fully consider the situation and all of the pros and cons, and make a plan before continuing forward any further. As I said, the inverted Hierophant does urge you to think outside the box a little bit and take the road less traveled. The Fool now does indicate to be wary of any ways in which you might be taken advantage of by other people because of the eagerness with which you've leapt into where you are now. And Scales of Balance further bolsters this by indicating that you need to make sure that all things in your life are balanced, and that as eager and excited as you are for this new endeavor that you are starting down, it's a situation of needing to make sure that you don't count all your chickens before they hatch. Have some reservation, save some of that energy for later points in this journey. Don't blow it all at once right at the beginning and then be screwed when you burn yourself out in 5 minutes. Just slow down a little bit and think about your situation and the steps that lie ahead of you and which ones you're going to take before you start taking them. Aquarius for Lughnasadh has pulled as your bottom card the Three of Wands. Your main spread is the inverted Ten of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. Your oracle card is Abundance of Sothis. Aquarius is in a really good spot right now, actually. The Three of Wands, being your main theme, deals with looking ahead and rapid growth. You are poised in a fantastic position where your focus right now is to look forward and keep moving forward, because a lot of good things are going to happen very close to each other during this season for you. The main thing holding you back and potentially getting in the way of this rapid growth and the prosperity that will come with it is this inverted Ten of Wands, which indicates either an inability to delegate to others or a serious lack of priority. Somewhere there is a risk of deeming something more important than it should be or less important than it should be. Or you're trying to do too much of a task on your own and you need to either ask for help from another person or let someone else handle it for you. And these can be two of the most difficult things for us as human beings throughout history, is looking at another person and saying, I need help. It can be even more difficult to say, I need or would like for you to do this for me. Letting go of something enough to ask for help and completely letting go and trusting someone else to do for you can be really, really difficult, especially if we've been burned by this situation before. You need to drum up the courage to do this, because it is actually a sign of strength and a sign of serious self-security to be able to look at another person and say, hey, I need your help, and let that person help you. That said, it is the only thing that is potentially going to get in the way here, because the Nine of Pentacles is the fruit of your labor. The Two of Cups is a partnership. I have a feeling that the other person in this Two of Cups is the person that you need to be willing to delegate to or ask for help with arranging your priorities in order to keep charging forward. The Ten of Wands is literally your only obstacle right now that I currently see. As I said, the Nine of Pentacles is fruits of labor, independence, and reward. It's also, being that it's the 9, you are so close to the end and to the reward of the journey you've been on, and you're very, very close to the goal that you've been working toward. As long as you keep this 10 of Wands in mind and don't let your fear of asking for help or letting someone else do something for you get in the way, that reward is coming straight to you. Just keep looking forward toward your goal and do everything that is best for it. And the Two of Cups likewise, you need to work with other people. There is some sort of a serious partnership and a balance in that partnership that needs to be supported and needs to be able to work to let this goal come to fruition. Abundance of Sothis literally is saying the same thing as the rest of these cards. There is some serious abundance and prosperity coming to you, Aquarius, during this season. You need only be open and willing to receive it. So make the decision right now. Whatever abundance comes to me, I have earned it. It is mine. I am receiving it. And keep looking forward and working toward it. And don't let your ego or insecurity get in the way of other people helping you, whether it's you asking them for help or them offering help and you being brave enough to say, yes, I would actually like that help. Pisces, your bottom card for Lughnasadh is the 8 of Pentacles. Your whole reading has 2 extra cards, because I had 4 jump out at me from the Waite-Smith deck, and I had 1 extra jump from the Oracle deck. So sit tight, this is going to take a little bit. Your main Waite-Smith spread is the 5 of Cups inverted, the King of Pentacles, the inverted Hermit, and the inverted High Priestess. The Oracle cards are Divine Sunchild and Goddess of 10,000 names. Pisces, much like Aquarius, is on the brink of big things. The 8 of Pentacles being your bottom card and your main theme and your main focus indicates a time of hard work and diligence. It can represent apprenticeship, but mostly it is stressing the importance of continuing to work hard and diligently and unfailingly toward your goal. As part of this part of your journey, the inverted 5 of Cups says that you went through some sort of grief or loss or major setback, that you are starting to, you are at the point where you're accepting and you're moving on from this situation rather than letting it hold you back. You have found what there is still to work with in this scenario, and you're taking advantage of it and moving forward in spite of the loss, having accepted that, well, there is no going back, so there's only going forward. The King of Pentacles represents abundance, power, and security, and especially that which is able to be used to affect an external change, not just for yourself, but for others around you. So you're in a fairly good position. You're making good strides toward your goal. You're not quite there yet, so don't give up. That is one of the main things for the 8 of Pentacles, but you're getting there, and you're a lot farther than you perhaps realize. As part of helping you realize that, though, the inverted Hermit and High Priestess and the Oracle cards are all trying to give you this boost to help realize just how well you are doing right now. Hi, Roxie. We have a visitor. No, not a scratching post. Hi. The inverted Hermit warns that you have perhaps been too isolated and have been too internally driven lately, and you need to reconnect with people outside and with the outside world in general. Get out of your house, go explore the world, hang out with friends and family that you haven't seen in a while. Hi. Hello. The inverted High Priestess warns that you've lost sense of your inner voice. No, do not jump up there. Yeah, that's hot. That's a candle. You've lost sense of your inner voice and you're not listening to your intuition and you're not trusting it. And I think these two go hand in hand. I think you've been so isolated that you no longer know what parts of your inner voice to trust and what parts are just your insecurities screaming at you. So you've written off a lot of it. The Goddess of 10,000 Names reminds you that you are not held by any former versions of yourself and any previous parts of your identity that you've now let go of. You are coming more wholly into your true and best self, and you are ever growing. You should not be held back by previous versions of yourself. So don't continue to hold yourself to the standards and identities you once had in the past. Divine Sunchild further wants you to live your life to the fullest without limitation. Continue to dive head first into the work and the steps that you are taking to achieve your goals. Don't let even your own insecurities hold you back. You're starting to let go of things that have happened in the past. Continue to work through those insecurities and let go of the tendency to hold yourself back by continuing to hold yourself to previous standards that no longer apply. Get out there, reconnect with the world, reconnect with your friends and your family, and start trusting your intuition and your inner voice again. Because ultimately, you will know what is best for yourself. Aries, your Lughnasadh reading has the inverted Ace of Swords as the bottom of the deck, the inverted Chariot, the inverted Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and 2 Oracle cards, Scales of Balance, and entered the Chamber of Healing. Aries, in short, needs some serious healing and recentering. The Ace of Swords inverted tells me that overall, during this season of Lughnasadh, you're confused and you're lost, and you've perhaps become a bit aggressive in that you're not acting, thinking, and speaking the way that you normally would. The inverted Chariot, likewise, is a lack of direction and a lack of control. You've lost your direction and your control, and again, perhaps become a bit too aggressive in trying to deal with things and write, your course. The inverted Nine of Pentacles has you obsessed with work and either making a lot of mistakes or experiencing a lot of setbacks. I think perhaps these setbacks have gotten a negative reaction from you, which is further causing you to make mistakes. Something you are working on is clearly very important to you, which isn't a bad thing, but I'm wondering if perhaps you tried to go a little faster through some parts of the work than you should have, and you hit a point where you couldn't force the outcome in the time that you wanted. Thus, it disappointed you and so on. I think perhaps you've just been too focused on your work, and that in turn is causing a lot of issues. The Eight of Pentacles stresses that it is important to work hard and to work diligently. You need to buckle down and study and keep working. You also might need to stop and learn some new skills to actually complete the task at hand and reach your current goal. I think you need to slow down and pull back from work every now and then, though. When you're working, keep working hard and work diligently. Don't give up. But you need to have times when you're not working. Scales of Balance and Enter the Chamber of Healing very much are stressing that you need to rebalance all the aspects of your life. You can't just work. Enter the Chamber of Healing specifically indicates that a time of healing is coming to you, and you need to make sure that you are open to receiving that in whatever form it may come. It could be going to hang out with friends or family. It could be a spa day or just some serious alone time if that's the better thing to help you rejuvenate yourself. Come back into balance, let yourself heal and be refreshed, and then come back into whatever it is you're working on. Work diligently, but don't work so hard that everything else falls to the wayside. Because when you're too close to your work, you are bound to make mistakes and keep being your own biggest obstacle. Taurus, for your Lughnasadh reading, your bottom card is the Six of Cups, and your main spread is the inverted King of Swords, inverted Judgment, and the Five of Pentacles. Your Oracle card is the Dark Mysteries. Hi, Bramble! Ooh, you bonked my camera. Okay, baby, no, I don't need either of you in here right now. Get.
No, come on.
The Six of Cups, it indicates that the main focus for you right now is some nostalgia and happy things, and possibly some sort of a reunion that's emotional but in a good way for you, or at least it should be. I think, however, you are apprehensive about this nostalgia and this reunion because you are dealing with a lot of personal issues that are distracting you from all of the good that could come from this Six of Cups. The inverted King of Swords is cruelty and and criticism and manipulation. Inverted Judgment is a lack of self-awareness, doubt, and self-loathing. The Five of Pentacles often is loss or poverty, but it also represents insecurity, and I'm leaning toward that meaning with all of this. The Dark Mysteries Oracle card wants you to face and release your fears and your insecurities. So here's what's happening. I think you are being overly harsh on yourself or actions you took in the past and how perhaps you interacted with any of the people that are involved in this reunion and nostalgia of the Six of Cups. I think you... Oh, I just gotta move my leg. Okay. Hi. You can hang out. I think that you are skewing your memory of how certain things occurred and how other people think of you. I think you're so caught up in the self-doubt and self-hatred and all of your insecurities and fears and everything that, of course, you're gonna feel down and you're not really gonna want to be nostalgic or see any of these people. It's a drink. So you essentially need to do some serious shadow work. You need to sit down with a journal or to meditate or in whatever other task helps you in this way, prayer, whatever it might be. Sit down with yourself. Really delve into these fears and insecurities and work through them. Get to the root of them so that you can start moving on from them, or at least continuing to live your life in spite of them. Once you do that, this reunion will not be such a hard thing for you after all. Hi. You're adorable. Mama has 2 more readings to do, and she can spend all the time she has while she waits for video to import, okay? Is that okay? I need to move you so I can get up and stop my recording. Are you falling asleep? Are you falling asleep? Oh no! Oh baby girl, you cannot take a nap on me right now. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. Gemini, your Lughnasadh reading is themed around the inverted Seven of Cups. Your main spread is the Seven of Pentacles, the inverted Seven of Swords, and the inverted Five of Pentacles. Your oracle card is the Pyramid of Light. First, I'm going to urge you, Gemini, to look into the meanings of the number 7. 3 of these cards are 7s. The inverted Seven of Cups hints at some kind of confusion or temptation in some way. Something during this season of Lughnasadh is going to tempt you away from your goals and away from the right decisions for the best outcome to reach the goal you're currently working toward and reach your best self at the end of this and actually grow the way you're supposed to. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of hard work, perseverance, and diligence. You've put in a lot of work already. That effort is starting to produce its benefit. The Seven of Swords inverted is indicating a desire for change and reform, turning over a new leaf. You are wanting this change, and this goal that you're working toward is going to help you cement that. The Five of Pentacles, likewise, is recovery, sometimes isolation. You might be walking this path very much alone, but you are working hard to move on from something in your past and solidify that you are no longer the person you used to be, and that's a beautiful thing. The Seven of Cups being temptation and the Pyramid of Light and its meaning tell me that what's happening here is you're doing so well working toward this current goal that something or someone, probably from your past, but regardless of that particular detail, something or someone who doesn't want you to succeed is going to start being drawn to you, if they haven't already, and is going to try to stop you. They're going to try to dredge things up. They're going to try to sway you into decisions and scenarios that you don't need to be in. So your focus right now, Gemini, is your current goal and the best decisions and steps to reach it. Pay no mind to anything that tries to sway you otherwise. Remain focused, remain diligent, and pay no mind to the tempters, and they will not harm you. Cancer, your Lughnasadh reading has the inverted Six of Cups as the bottom card, inverted Death, 10 of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords. You've also drawn Lady of the Stars. Inverted Six of Cups suggests a resistance to change and you trying to hold too tightly to something in the past and being nostalgic to a fault. Your head is so stuck in things to do with your past that you are avoiding moving forward and you're not paying attention to what's going on right now in your present. Inverted Death likewise says that you are afraid of change and you have stagnated yourself because you're holding too tightly to something. I don't know why you're holding on though, because the Ten of Pentacles is legacy. It's the pinnacle of your journey toward stability and security. You're in a really good place right now. You've completed something and achieved something, and that's something to be proud of. It seems like maybe you're afraid of what lies on the other side of this accomplishment and you're not sure where to go next, so you're afraid to start trying to move forward again. I can tell that you have a lot of ambition though. The Knight of Swords is drive and ambition and speed. You have a lot of things you want to dive into. This is not necessarily an easy time for you right now, Cancer, but it is an important time. It makes sense that you would be concerned about the next steps. Take some time to enjoy the happiness and the fruits of your work that this Ten of Pentacles represent, and then start to figure out why it is you're hesitant to roll with the changes and move forward. When you figured out that, start working to overcome that. Think about what your next steps are, what your next goal is, and start moving ahead because you have so much energy to devote to this next goal. You need not wait. The Lady of the Stars further indicates that this is a very important time and something significant is happening for you right now. Pay very close attention to everything going on in your life. And there we have our 12 Lughnasadh zodiac horoscopes from the tarot. I do hope that you have found the needed guidance for the season of Lughnasadh within one of these readings in this video. And even if none of these apply now, I hope that in the time you need the guidance, the readings here will occur to you and you'll be pulled back to this video to refresh yourself on which reading it is and be comforted knowing that you now have perhaps a clearer path forward. I wish everyone a happy Lughnasadh, and I'll see you again for more readings at Maven in September. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, you know where all the buttons and the links are to show me your love. You've been on the internet and YouTube in particular long enough, right? If you'd like to see more content like this video, check the cards and the description for my tarot readings playlist. You can also check the DIY playlist for a couple of witchy things that I've created on this channel, such as wreaths for all the Sabbats, and just last week there was a little sewing project I did for some herb sachets, which again, as mentioned at the beginning, you can find in my shop on my website now. I'd like to give a huge thankful shout out to my coven of patrons who have been the most pivotal in helping this content continue to happen and be bigger and better every time. If you would like to join their ranks, check the link tree in the description. Pledges start at $1 a month. Stay tuned for Alice's cloak build, actually this time, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Keep aiming, my loves. Mwah! Happy Lughnasadh.